So we start with Iron Man watching his parents get slimed out by who would have thought? Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier, and Bucky looking like a sad dog that just got in trouble. It's not a good look, but after Bucky finishes offing Tony's parents, he asks Cap, did he know?
And this man Cap gonna try to lie, like get your ring man.
But Tony wasn't falling for any of that, so Cap just tells the truth. And Tony went stupid, smacked the goofy out of Cap, hit him with a propelled backhand. And look at Bucky's face, he knows it's over. Tries to shoot Tony, but he's like, sit that down. Bucky tries to go for the left, but realizes that his metal arm honestly isn't all that. And look at Baron Zemo trying to back into the shadows. He's really just that one friend that rage baits two people into an argument and then stays quiet or laughs during the entire argument. If you do this, you know exactly who you are. Grabs Bucky, takes him into the air, and slams him on the ground. Pulls one of these like he's about to stomp his face in, but just steps on his arm. That would have been one of the craziest moves I've ever seen Iron Man hit. Catches the shield to the back of the cranium, which causes him to miss this insane face shot.
Hold on, pause.
Honestly, this would have been as equally crazy. Look back like these, damn near broke his neck. Grabs the shield and tries to bash Tony away, but Tony really had to call him a little boy and one-up him. Shoots these cuffs on Cap's legs but gets snuck by Bucky. You're gonna find this to be very common in this fight, because for some reason Tony can only fight one person at a time and tends to become legally blind when anything more than that is involved. Tony slams Bucky into this wall and tries again to turn him into a Roblox headless avatar. He really trying to get Bucky up out of there, Tony not playing. But Bucky grabs Tony's hand and has him in disbelief, and then proceeds to crush his repulsor. So Tony whips out a backup missile, but Bucky pushes it away, causing it to hit whatever this is. And I want y'all to really realize that Tony was about to point blank him with a missile. He did not care. And Cap breaks out these weak ass cuffs, obviously, and I'm assuming it was only to slow him down, which worked because he just almost off Bucky off the map 2 seconds ago. But the explosion causes the entire place to start collapsing. And oh my god, Tony is up there just piecing them up. And they notice this huge structure is about to fall on them, so they abort shit. But some of it falls on Tony. But I gotta go back. Bucky's expressions are just priceless, bro. Look at him. And why do they keep turning their heads at breakneck speeds in this fight? Look at his neck. But he calls the ISO on Tony, and Bucky gets to stepping. Tony pulls up and shoots a repulsor but misses. He's 1 for 5. Cap jumps in the way trying to be the White Knight, and Bucky finds his exit plan. Cap trying to hit Tony with the taunt no jutsu, but he don't want to hear none of that. Tries to fly past Cap like he's not there, but gets his boot disabled in the process. Why did he do that? Like, I genuinely want to know. Cap tries to pursue, but Tony just cuts him off with his laser. And now him and Bucky are in an ISO. Flies up slowly and kicks the sonic rings out of Bucky. And as Tony is about to end them, somehow Cap pulls up again. How did he even get there that fast? And we're not gonna slide past that vertical, what the fuck? But the shot from Tony's own repulsor puts him down for a few seconds, giving Bucky the opportunity to run. Cap had to tell him Tony not gonna stop, he on demon time. Cap pulls out this string and jumps off the platform, tying it around Tony's neck and dropping him to a lower level. And somehow Tony fell in the worst way possible, but Cap lands gently as hell. This fight was rigged against Tony from the beginning. Bucky's still trying to escape, but Tony got him in his sights. Cap tries to throw his shield, but Tony makes that look like light work. Got Cap looking down at it like, damn. Tony tries to blow Bucky up with a missile straight body to flesh, but he realizes that his shoot can't aim right now. So he decides to just eyeball it, hitting the door, causing it to close on Bucky right before he could leave. And look at the smile on Tony's face. You can't tell me he not cold. Puts on the mask and it's time for work. Flies up and Bucky smacks him with his pole. Tries to hit him with the propelled backface, but Bucky ducks under it. Tries to go for the follow-up, but Tony grabs the pole, puts him in a rear choke and starts to whisper in his ear. And this is where Tony does the dumbest thing of the entire fight. Asks Bucky if he remembers his parents. Bucky says that he remembers everyone, and then jumps off the platform instead of just killing him right there. Why did he do this? What was the point? What was the plan? Just goofy.
I don't understand why you even did this to yourself. This made you look so fucking stupid. This shit make you look so stupid.
Cap tackles them, causing everyone to fall, and Tony and Cap fall to the very bottom. But if I would have fell like this, I wouldn't have got back up. I ain't gonna lie. Tony climbs over the ledge looking like Kill Bill crawling out of the ground. Cap gets up and him and Tony have a crazy stare down. Like, look at Tony, oh my god. Was that Glaze?
Get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing?
What? No, you right. I was dick riding.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You gotta calm down with that shit.
Cap's like, it's just your family, bro.
No, fuck that.
Flies down and misses Cap with a mean right, only to catch one in return. They just throwing straight haymakers, then puts Tony in a rear choke. I don't know what it is with Cap and his weak ass move, but we all know that shit is trash. This is not a normal guy, he's in a metal suit. Tony shoots his repulsor, knocking them into the air and hits this clean landing. Goes for this punch but misses. He trying to knock Cap head off. Bucky notices the shield, and if you already watched the movie, you know what time it is. While Tony is distracted knocking the goofy out of Cap, he gets snuck by Bucky with the shield. Shoots a repulsor but Bucky blocks it, throws the shield to Cap, and ducks while parrying the hook. Smacks him with the metal arm and kicks him in the gut. Cap hits him with the shield but Tony parries Bucky's follow-up. Jabs him in the chin and blocks Cap's shield, but Bucky kicks him in the leg making him get down on one knee and propose. Tony shoots a repulsor but Cap smacks him in the noggin with the shield, throwing off his aim. Bucky hits Tony in the gut and Cap follows up with the overhead, but this is where they made a grave mistake. Bucky throws the shield to Cap instead of hitting him, and this is where Tony takes the opening to beam Cap, sending him into the wall. So now Tony and Bucky return to their ISO. Goes for the laser to the face, but Bucky grabs that, got Tony looking stupid. Hit him with a left to the chest, got him gasping for air. Runs up and palms his head to the wall, then tries to take out his arc reactor. And he got real close too, but Tony hit him with that Unibeam! And Bucky falls over, realizing that his arm is gone. Shoots Bucky in the back, telling him to sit down, but Cap has recovered. Runs up and we get this clean ass scene of them clashing with a beam in the shield. Cuts to Baron Zemo and he's getting pressed by Black Panther, but then he starts to trauma dump. Cuts back to the fight and Cap is wailing on Tony. They got it in slow-mo and everything, just disrespectful. But after his trauma dump, Baron Zemo tries to take the easy way out. Sadly for him, Black Panther couldn't let that slide. You're going to jail, buddy.
Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
And as Cap continues to beat the grease off of Tony, Tony asks Friday to analyze Cap's fighting style. But it's gonna take some time, so he just continues to get the piss beat out of him. With the way Cap beating on Tony, you would have thought they weren't just friends. This might be one of the worst combinations we've seen someone get hit with on the channel yet. But Tony has finally adapted. Bro trying to be the big Raga. Catches the shield, and by the look on Cap's face, he knows it's over. Beams the shield out of Cap's hand. Blocks the left hook, spins around, blasts him in the chest, and sends him flying. Closes the gap, but Cap parries the pawn to his face. Tony hits him with a body blow, weaves the hook, then elbows him in his chin. Then uppercuts him and blasts him in his stomach. Got him on all fours. Tony walks up and Cap's like, "This my nigga though." But Tony's like, "So was I." Then hits him with a crazy two-piece. Got Cap in pain.
My organs.
Grabs him and throws him against the wall, but Cap just won't give up. And as Tony is about to put Cap down, Bucky grabs his foot. And I don't know why he didn't just beam Cap anyway. What is that gonna do? Instead he turns around to punt the goofy out of Bucky. But Cap takes the opportunity to pick up Tony and slam him on his dome. Gets in top mount and just starts wailing on him. Picks up the shield and starts smacking Tony hard as hell. Rips off his mask, pump face like he's gonna turn his brains into mush, but just damages his arc reactor instead. Picks up Bucky, and as they're about to leave, Tony tells him he's a bitch ass nigga. He doesn't deserve that shield. So Cap drops it. And that's the end of the squabble. If you like the video, like it. If you see yourself coming back often, subscribe. And road to 1K.